On air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. Today is Tuesday, August 15th, 2023, and it's show number 217. So we're going to do the intro first, and then we're going to come back with a jam-packed show. So are you guys ready? The chat room is open as well, so feel free to make chats. I'll go ahead and make sure I put your chat on the screen, and we'll talk about it if it's something important enough to talk about. So, but anyway, I'm just joking. But yeah, go ahead and put your stuff on the screen and we'll put it up for you. So hold on tight and we'll be back right after this intro. Thanks.
Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. It is show number 217. Who would have thought? And today is Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. I thank you guys so much for joining, the people that are on LinkedIn and the people that are on YouTube. And always remember that this is a podcast as well. It's not just a video show, right? Or, talk show is what I call it. It's actually a podcast as well. So as we're speaking, as this video is showing or doing whatever it's doing, the audio portion is being recorded as we speak. And then after that, I upload to my Spotify or whatever the heck platform it's called, and then you can take me on the go. So once that's done, and it takes me, a couple minutes to do that after the show, providing that I do it right away, right? But so within an hour of the show being over, it will be available on Spotify. So find Spotify, just On Air with Russell of Hotels, and you'll find me. You can take me on the go, put me in your pocket, and the same good stuff that I'm talking, that you've seen that I'm talking about, you can just listen to me. You may not want to, why do I want to see this dude? I just want to hear it. I hear he has some good stuff to talk about. I don't need to see him. I don't need to see his antics. I don't need to see all this stuff. Okay. Uh, but anyway, thank you guys so much for joining show number 217. 217 shows. I started back in 2019, just for people that, are keeping score out there. January, I want to say 23rd, 2019 was my first show. I remember doing the show. See, I do it from home now, right, for the most part, other than when I'm on location. But then I used to do it in a studio. I used to go to Sherman Oaks every Tuesday and be there in the studio and do a show, right? It was like turnkey. You just walk in and just, as long as I'm there I had to be there at 10 minutes to 1 o'clock, like 12:50, okay? Then they had a producer, had all that kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, this is kind of interesting. I got kind of starstruck, and I said, you know what? I think I can do this myself. So from that point on, I learned the industry, so to speak, and then I kind of applied it to, put my own spin on it, put my own little taste on it, and bought equipment and all this kind of stuff. And then there you go. So I actually did 90 shows with, it was called LA Talk Radio. And LA Talk Radio is basically an internet radio station. So, but they've evolved, just like I've evolved with, doing the video conferencing or the video show and all that kind of stuff. They've evolved as well, but I learned, my started with them. Okay. So I learned a lot from them. So, I didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to do a podcast and this is how I'm going to do it and it's going to work and blah, blah, blah. No, It didn't work like that. But I did 90 shows with them before I branched out on my own. So just a little history, just in case, no one really wanted to know that, but I was feeling nostalgic. So I said, you know what? Let me just share this information because not everybody knows the story or the journey, right? So anyway, I'm Russell Edmond. The show's called On Air with Russell of Hotels. Like you said, I just said 217, whatever, blah, 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 blah. People may say, well, why am I listening to you? Where do you come from? Well, I have 25 years of experience in hotels and hotels, hospitality, and over 14 different hotels, right? I've worked in, at least 14 hotels that I worked in. I was employed with. I've worked in other hotels, but as consultants and things like that. But I only count the 14 because, that's when I worked, right? That's when you have to work. When you're a consultant, you still work, but you don't have to necessarily be on property. So there you go. But anyway, let's get into a little bit of what's going on here. Got a couple people to thank. I got a brand sponsor that I'd like to talk about, Level Hotel. They're located downtown LA. I'm located I'm based in LA. So this hotel, the Level Hotel, dang, I can't speak, is downtown South Olive Street. They have a promo code, ROH23, which means that they offer that Russell of Hotels rate, the rate that I would get if I was staying there. You know what I mean? So they extend it to you guys, right? So just go stayinglevel.com and on the promo code, just put ROH23 and you'll get the rate, that I would normally get. Now, keep in mind that the good thing about this hotel is that the rooms are 1, 2, and 3 bedroom suites, starting off at 700 square feet. Square feet, that's the size of the room, right? Your typical hotel size, just FYI, is 300 to 350 square feet. These start at 700 square feet. They're actually like a condo, an apartment, a townhouse. I mean, however you want to put it. But they have full kitchens. They have washers and dryers. All rooms have balconies. You can't beat that. In Southern California and LA with a balcony, come on now, stop it. Knock it off, Level Hotel. But no, just you go to Level Hotel, just say, hey, Russell of Hotel sent you. They'll roll out that red carpet. They may roll you up in it and throw you in a car and get rid of you, but at least they'll roll you up in a red carpet. Okay, so there you go. I'm trying to be funny, and I don't think I'm doing a good job with that, but I have to mention the sponsor, right? So just real quick, we need to thank a couple people, and I'll let you know why I'm thanking these people. But hey, did I say I was live from the hotel in the DoubleTree by Hilton in Buena Park? Now, can anybody tell me? Let's see. Can I go back here? Can I go? Okay, so this is part of the hotel, right? So, live, and you see down at the bottom the ticket right there. DoubleTree in Buena Park, California. What is Buena Park known for? You guys know what Buena? Now, this is for people that are outside of Southern California. They're not in LA. What is in Buena Park that is such a big deal? Okay, does anybody know? I'll give you like 5 seconds to figure it out. Knott's Berry Farm is in Buena Park. So just for reference sake, maybe people who are not from Southern California, Knott's Berry Farm is a amusement park, theme park, just like a Disneyland or Universal or Magic Mountain. Has rides, has all that kind of stuff. But their premise is basically like, I guess like farming or, something like that. I mean, that was the whole premise for that. Knott's Berry Farm. Okay, Knott's Berry Farm, right? So they do I remember going there back in the day and they had, I guess everywhere they have the store, like the general store or whatever. And they were big on like jams and jellies. That's what I remember, right? So you go and you see like homemade preserves and things like that. So it had that farm vibe, and the food, like big corn on the cob and all that kind of stuff. So it was a farm vibe, right? So, and it's still like that. But they have rides, and I don't get on any rides, right? I'd rather go eat, because FYI, I'm afraid of the rides. I don't tell a lot of people that, but when I go to any theme park, you don't have to think you don't have to think you're gonna catch me on a ride, because I'm not going to be on a ride. Okay, I'm going to be sitting down. I'm that dude that sits around holding the purses for everybody. Okay, that's me. Okay. But anyway, this hotel is down the street from Knott's Berry Farm. It's actually located on Beach Boulevard. That's the same street, the main. Well, I guess you can get there from Beach Boulevard. You can get into one entrance of Knott's Berry Farm on Beach Boulevard. Um, and it's right off the 91 freeway. So that's one of the major freeways that this is near. So it's a kind of a straight shot from LA. So I was there yesterday meeting somebody, and I said, you know what? I haven't been to this hotel in a long time. In fact, this hotel was something else, and I don't even remember what it was before. It was built as another hotel, but I don't remember what it was. But now it's a DoubleTree, DoubleTree by Hilton. So it's a very nice hotel. It's that older vibe hotel, but you can see that it's been renovated. Everything has it's shiny and all that kind of stuff. So I actually like the hotel. It's 249 rooms, about 15,000 square feet of meeting space, 11 different meeting rooms. Has a pool, garden area, patio area, very nice. So I was pleasantly surprised when I went in there, and I had not been in there probably in over 10 years, and I was pleasantly surprised on the upkeep, how clean it was, just everything, just like a shiny new dime. Okay, so there you go, just a little bit about that hotel, and throughout the show you'll see different photos that I posted about this particular hotel, so you don't forget. So this is the DoubleTree Hotel in Buena Park, and Buena Park is the home of Knott's Berry Farm, Knott's Scary Farm too, and I already mentioned that, so I don't have to go into that. And I just wanted to thank a couple people. So Miss Tony Marie Cruz, she's the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Residence Inn LAX. And then Mr. Tony Ruiz, he's a sales manager at the Renaissance LAX. Now, this week, I had a group, right, that needed, like last minute, they need rooms, right? And I reached out, and I have to say this, these two hotels, or these two people, Tony Marie and Tony Ruiz, they were second and third, meaning those are I reached out to them after the first hotel never responded back to me. Okay. So I reached out to this one hotel first. I'm not going to name the hotel, but I reached out to this hotel first, and I first got an email from a person and basically said, oh, okay, send me the information and we can move forward. So I sent him the information, but never heard from him. So that was like on a Monday. Okay. By Thursday, I still had not heard from this person. So I'm sending information, I'm calling, I'm leaving messages. He's not getting the messages. Then find out that through someone else that the hotel, whoever previously owned or managed the hotel, no longer manages the hotel, which means if it's a management company, the people that work for that management company, i.e. the guy that I was talking to, is no longer there. So I'm like, well, didn't he know on Tuesday that there was not going to be, he was not going to be there anymore or whatever? I mean, you could have passed that information on. But anyway, that's beside the point. So that didn't work out. So I, at the last minute, reached out to these two individuals, and they got back to me just like that, okay? I called or I emailed or I text, because I happen to have Tony Ruiz's cell phone number. He called me right back. Okay, I left a message. He called me right back. I left an email with Tony Marie Cruz. She immediately, responded back to me. That doesn't happen all the time. Okay, so I'm giving, give people their flowers. You know what I mean? So I'm giving Tony Marie Cruz and Tony Ruiz their flowers because they actually got back to me. That is not common in this climate these days. I don't know why it's not, but they got back to me within, an hour. You know what I mean? And it was, maybe they can detect the franticness in my voice, because my group needed these rooms ASAP, and they weren't stopping for anything. Okay, so you got to kind of, read your client and see what's going on with them. But Tony and Tony Marie, basically they responded. They gave me prices. They did everything. So when I got them on the phone, I had to get the information then, because I had to share it with my client, right? Although I think one of them did have to. They gave me, they weren't able to give it to me right away because it was at the end of the day, right? So, but first thing on Monday, I got all the information, right? I mean, they gave me such a great deal, or gave the client such a great deal. It was great, but it was because of the relationship that I had with them. When you have relationships with people, you can pick up the phone and call them. You can call them on their cell phones. and they're not like, well, why are you calling me here? Who gave you this number? You know what I mean? They're just interested in the business. Okay, they don't care who it's coming from, why you called, or when you called. They want the business, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the professionalism. Appreciate them getting back to me. And even when I had the group ended up going somewhere else or with another hotel, they were still gracious in that. They were saying, "Hey, just let us know when you need help again, Russell. We're here. We're here for you, or we're here to help." So that's what I'm talking about, and that's why I thank them, and thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Once again, Tony Marie Cruz, and then Mr. Tony. Did I say? Yeah, Tony Marie Cruz and Mr. Tony Ruiz. So they deserve a round of applause for that, because, like I said, it's not common. I wish it was that common where people would just respond to you all the time, but it's not. Okay, so. And if there's salespeople out there that are like, well, I never do that. Well, congratulations to you too. But in my experience lately, it's hard to get salespeople to respond in a timely manner. Oh, they respond on their time, but they don't necessarily respond on when you need them to respond. So there you go. But thank you to them. Moving right along. Okay, so what is my topic for today? Are groups different in their expectations? Now, we always talk about, well, and this is hotel people. This is hotel talk, okay? So internally, but I guess outside of a hotel, you would think a group is a group, right? So if it's a leisure group, okay. If it's a corporate group, okay. Outside looking in, a group is a group. A group is 10 rooms or more. Give me a rate and we go from there. But they're not. They're at least within the hotel, we think that, groups, different groups, have different expectations. Well, what I did was, so I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, what is the difference between groups? Why do we charge some groups more than others? Well, I'm not going to get into the pricing or why we do that, but I am going to get in the similarities of different groups. And I'm just going to take leisure and business, because that's basically the easiest one to do, right? So we're going to go from there. But if you have any questions, feel free. The chat is open. Feel free to make comments or whatever. Let me see. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Am I missing anything? No, I don't think so. So, but yeah, so feel free to make make your comments, whatever. Be known, be seen. And I'll make sure I put your comments or questions on the screen as we speak in real time. Okay, so all right, let's move on. So are groups different in their expectations? So I have 7 things, right? So I had 12 originally, but I said, you know what? I think 7 is a good number. Let me just narrow that 12 down to 7. So boom. Value for money. Value for money. Okay, let me just read this first. While corporate and leisure groups have distinct expectations and preferences, there are some common characteristics that can apply to both types of groups. Understanding these shared characteristics can help hotel sales professionals provide exceptional service and cater to the needs of various groups. Here are several characteristics that both corporate and leisure groups may share. Now, there's some stuff that they don't share, but these are the things that they do, and that's all I'm sharing with you today. So value for money. Both corporate and leisure groups seek value for their money. They want to ensure that the accommodations, amenities, and services offered by the hotel align with their budget and provide a satisfactory experience. So it doesn't matter if it's a corporate group or a leisure group. They all want the bang for their buck, right? They want value for their money. They're not just paying things just because, right? And although we, sometimes a leisure group would get charged less than a corporate group. Why, I have no idea, but I'll talk about that at another time, right? But they all want the same thing. Sometimes we treat, and this is within the hotel space. And remember, I came from operations too. So I know operations, I know sales. And sometimes because it's a leisure group, we treat them less than if they were a corporate group. Like, well, they don't have the same expectations. Well, no, they do have the same expectations. I book corporate groups as well as leisure groups, right? And sometimes, I'll just use an example, this has to do with meeting space or AV equipment, audiovisual equipment. They'll take less. They'll give me less, or give a leisure group less equipment, or they'll give them the least effective equipment. They'll give the corporate groups all the more expensive stuff because they require more things. Well, what do you mean? How do you know that? How do you know that I don't want the clarity in my video for the leisure group to be just as good, if not better, than the corporate? Or the internet? Do I want it? Do I still need it to work? Yeah, I check my email too, or I'm a gamer, or whatever it is. I want everything to work, just like if I was a corporate client. But sometimes within the hotel space, we'll treat people lesser because, well, they're paying this, you're paying that. You know what? They're still paying your salary, so it should be the same across the board. Okay, so just remember, value for money. They still want what they want, right? Number 2, convenience and accessibility. Groups, whether corporate or leisure, appreciate convenient and accessible hotel locations. Proximity to key attractions, business centers, or event venues is important for both types of groups. So it doesn't matter what they are. They still want to be near, some type of attractions, like key attractions. Traffic generators. What are the traffic generators? There's a mall, there's a business center, there's an amusement park. Because even if I'm a corporate person, I'm not going to be in meetings all day long. I want to go out and have some fun. Are there bars around? Are there restaurants where I can go hang out? Are there some clubs I can go and shake my booty, get my groove thing on? Whatever that is, everybody wants those kind of things. Right. So let's just keep in mind, especially when we're salespeople, we need to keep in mind that we mention those things to both groups because we never know what they want. It's not about what we want to give them. It's about what they want. Right. So whatever information's out there, if there's clubs and, whatever, just because they're corporate people doesn't mean they don't want to go out and have a good time. OK, and vice versa. There's this huge business center. They got computers. They got, all the bells and whistles for if you have an office. How do you know that these leisure people don't run a business or they don't work? So it's you kind of have to do the same for both because, we've short-sighted, some of these groups because we think they're not this or they're not that, or they got to fit into some typical, they got to fit into some slot. Well, they only go here, or they don't go over there. Well, we don't know unless we ask questions, and they won't know unless we offer them, situations or offer them, or there's different locations for this, or there's a theme park over there they may not have thought about. You never know. They could be doing the corporation could be doing a scavenger hunt or something. So corporations do that, right? Maybe they'll take a day off and maybe they want to go to the movie theater. Maybe they do want to go to that theme park that's down the street. Maybe they will take, time off and go to that restaurant or whatever that, but that you tell the leisure people about, but you don't tell the corporate people about. So just remember that a group is a group, okay? Number 3, quality accommodations. Both types of groups expect clean, comfortable, and well-appointed rooms that meet their needs and preferences. They all want a nice room. They all want to be upgraded, Of course, the upgrades, I'm sure those come with the people paying the higher amount, the higher rate, and I understand that. But they do expect some bells and whistles. Everybody does. Everybody wants to be taken care of. Everybody wants to be spoiled. Everybody wants to be treated like that VIP, right? The leisure people as well as the corporate people. So just remember, let's keep that in mind. Number 4, excellent customer service. Who doesn't want excellent customer service? Exceptional customer service is valued by all groups. Friendly and attentive staff who can address their requests and inquiries contribute to a positive experience. Who doesn't want a positive experience? Doesn't matter if it's leisure or corporate. They all want that positive experience. Okay. Number 5, meeting and event space. Who says that leisure don't do event space? I just mentioned, I gave an example of a family reunion. That's leisure. My groups do a full dinner for about 200 people. They do a lot of things. They do a meet and greet. They do all those things, just like a company would kind of do that same thing, and maybe a general session, maybe a working lunch, and all that kind of stuff. Kind of the same thing. They're still in the meeting space. They're still eating food, right? So corporate and leisure groups often require meeting or event spaces, though for different purposes. Both seek functional and well-equipped spaces that can accommodate their specific needs. So there you go. Number 6, technology and connectivity. What? They need that too? Both groups rely on technology and connectivity. High-speed internet access, in-room amenities like smart TVs and business centers are valued by corporate groups, while leisure groups appreciate staying connected during their trips. So regardless, everyone wants to stay connected. This day and age, we all have to stay connected. Because like I said, we don't know why these leisure people, we don't know what they do. We know what the corporate people do because they come with a group, right? We know what they do. They're investment, investment people, what do you call them? They're money managers, okay? They're money managers, so they're all money managers that are meeting, right? So we know what they are because the group, the meeting planner told us, right? But we have these leisure groups that are coming in. It's a family reunion. We just know it's the Edmond family, right? We don't know what they do, right? But they can still be business people as well, just that they're not labeled as a business group. But that doesn't mean if you start breaking things down, who are these people? We never do that, but maybe we should drill down and see who are these people. But they may need technology and connectivity just like anyone else does, just like the corporate group would have. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. And the last one, safety and security. Who doesn't want that? Safety and security. Where's that? Where is that? Safety and security. Safety and security are universal priorities for all groups. They expect a safe environment and protocols in place to ensure their well-being. No one wants to come, I don't care if it's a leisure or corporate, no one wants to come to a hotel that's not safe, okay? Remember, corporate people, there can be a lot of single people traveling by themselves. Women can be traveling by themselves. So you want to make sure, even the leisure groups, okay? Maybe it's a girls' trip. It's this girls' group or ladies' group or whatever. You want to make sure that everybody wants to be safe and secure. I don't think it matters if it's a woman or a man. I mean, I want to be safe too, okay? When I walk in my door, I make sure the doors are latched and everything, right? That safety bar is on, and I make sure it's working. If it doesn't work, I'm calling, hey, engineering, this thing doesn't work. Because the last thing I want is for somebody to come, open the door, and it doesn't have a safety latch on there. You know what I mean? So make sure everybody needs to be safe and secure. If that's man, that's woman. If that's, kids are in there. If that's corporate leisure, doesn't matter across the board. There's a lot of people that want the same thing. So we got to get out of this mindset different groups want different things. The more you start looking at the groups, they all want the same things. They want stuff to work. They want a nice hotel. They want to be safe and secure. They want to have meeting space. They want to be connected. Everybody wants the same thing. So we need to make sure, salespeople, hotel people, we need to make sure we know that everybody wants the same thing, right? So, and like I said, I'm going to get into a later time. Why do we charge? If everybody wants the same thing, why do we charge one more than the other? They all want the same thing. They're all getting the same thing. Is it one day versus the next day? If it's a weekend during the week, business has changed, right? The climate of business has changed where people are not, Monday through Thursday, that's the business people traveling. Then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's when the leisure people come in. But I always throw this in there. What about the bleisure traveler? Didn't they just throw a monkey wrench into this whole thing? Bleisure, a mixture of business and leisure. They want the same things, right? Don't those people? So they're derivative of both of those groups. leisure and business. So it's kind of the waters are getting muddy, okay? Because we don't know who's who these days unless you drill down and find out who are these people, okay? So let's just, like I said, we can't go on, treating one group different than the other because they all want the same thing. And I just went through 7 things. I actually had 4 more to go through, but I'm not, or 5 more to go through, but I'm not going to do that, right? But yeah, so just know that we all want the same things, and whatever we do for one group, a leisure group, a business group, corporate group, doesn't matter. We should make sure we pass that same thing along to that other group. Am I good with that? You guys, am I making sense? I'm sure I am. I'm sure you guys are smart. You guys know what the heck I'm talking about. So anyway, moving on. 3 things I always mention when I do this show. 3 things I always mention: be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you, whatever that is. I mean, it's important that I come and do this show every single week because I never know. I want to reach that one person. All I'm trying to do is reach that one person. If I can reach that one person, I'm good, right? So I was intentional back in 2019 when I started this journey. I didn't know where it was going, meaning the podcast or this live hospitality talk show. I didn't know exactly where I was going, but I knew I was going somewhere. Okay, 219 or 217 shows later, here, this is where I am. But, when show number 1, I was like, wow, that was cool. Now what? You know what I mean? Am I going to continue to do this thing or what? But yeah, I continue to do it and continue to, well, hopefully I got better with, subject matter and speaking. But you know what? You always got to be you, okay? So, and that just leads to the second thing. Be you. So it doesn't matter if you stutter, you stammer, you forget stuff, you mispronounce things. So what? Okay? Be you. Get the information out. Hopefully the information has come across. You are understanding the information, right? I'm not stuttering and stammering that much and forgetting things that you don't understand what I'm saying, okay? Everybody has their own way of delivering information, okay? There's no 2 people alike in this world, right? I'm not trying to be like anyone else, right? I'm trying to be like me. I'm trying to be the best Russell of hotels that I can be, right? And whoever else does a podcast or whatever, they're trying to be the best whoever they are, right? They're trying to deliver information the best way they can. So we all have our own different vibe, if you will. So just be you, regardless of what it is. Don't get caught up in other people's crap, okay? You got enough crap to be worried about. I know I do, right? So just continue on. And if that's what you like, like I said, if the podcast thing or the talk show thing is a thing for you, then, don't let anybody stand in your way. Let's just do what you're going to do. Because that's what I did, right? That's what I did. So be intentional about whatever you're doing, be you, and be represented. It's important that I am represented in this podcast field, okay? It's important that someone that looks like me is in hospitality is represented, okay? So because I don't know who's coming behind me. I don't know who wants to get in this hotel space. I don't know who wants to get in this podcast space, okay? So like I said, if I can reach one person that's interested in doing it, or maybe it's gonna talk that person into doing it, because he said, I'm just gonna be me and be intentional and be represented. If they, think that same way, then that's fine. Go ahead and do it. That's what I'm talking about. Is more power to you. So like I said, it wasn't always, I didn't always get warm and fuzzies about doing the show, right? It wasn't like everybody was like, oh, this is great and this and that. Yeah, some people still aren't, but that's okay. You can't get caught up in you can't get in other people's heads on what they think it should be, or you should do this and you should do that. No, you should do whatever leads you. Wherever it leads you, that's where you should do. Okay. Because there's always going to be somebody with a different, well, maybe you should do it this way. It's okay to take suggestions on things. That's fine. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you and what you want to do. What do you want people to see about you? What do you want people to hear about this hospitality industry? And the way you deliver it is unlike anyone else. Okay. That's why I always say when people say, well, isn't there too many podcasts out there now? No, because no one can do it the way you do it. No one can deliver the information like you can deliver the information. So there you go. It can be 10 people talk about the same thing. And I guarantee you, all 10 people will deliver it differently because they're different people. They come from different, walks of life. They speak different. They have a different background. There you go. So just be you, be intentional, and be represented. That's because you never know who's, like I said, you never know who's watching behind you or who's coming behind you. And that's how I look at it. What do I do? This is some of the things that I do, as if you did not know. You probably didn't know. I'm the brand who helps your brand. So just like this brand, this DoubleTree in Buena Park, those are some of the things that I do. Okay, so hospitality personality, content creating. So I create content for hotels, just like I created for the DoubleTree Hotel in Buena Park, which is where, what is Buena Park famous for again? Knott's Berry Farm. Okay, so if you remember anything about this show, you're going to know the people outside of LA or Southern California, outside of California, are going to know that Buena Park is where Knott's Berry Farm is. And there's a DoubleTree right down the street on the same street. It's on Beach Boulevard, okay, right off the 91 freeway. So there you go. So you're going to remember, at least you're going to remember that. So I'm sorry, I got to go back over this again. See what happens? So what do I do again? Because I was going to go over this slide real quick. I'm the brand who helps out your brand. I just gave an example of what I mean by that. What I do and how I can help. Content creating, sales training for general managers, as well as sales people, sales managers, and hotel site selection, where I assist companies and organizations with finding that right hotel for the group. I gave an example of helping out a client of mine with finding rooms for their group. I mentioned that earlier in the show when I first started. So yeah, I do that as well. So hotel site selection, I help content creating for hotels. I'm the brand that assists your brand, right? I'm that brand that will help you, become top of mind, right? Just like I used an example of the hotel, of the DoubleTree in Buena Park, right? A lot of people don't even know that even hotel is there, and it's right off the freeway. A lot of people don't know it's there, but that's okay. That's okay because my job is to highlight hotels that I go to. And I met at that hotel specifically because I had not been in there. I haven't been there in over 10 years. So yesterday I had a cousin who lives in, I don't even know where he lives. Is it let's just say he lives in Corona? Let's say he lives in Corona. So I think it's kind of like halfway. So I said, but he lives off the 91. So it took me longer to get there, right? I hit traffic. He didn't, but he's coming from opposite direction. He's coming from the east. I was coming, from the west, going east. So, but we decided to meet in Buena Park. And he said, oh, that'd be cool. Okay, but my intention was to go see this hotel because I had not been there in years. So I intentionally went in there. We had our meeting. We talked for about a couple hours. And then after that, that's when I, took out my phone and started taking pictures, started walking around, kind of checking out the hotel, which I do all the time, right? But it was intentional for me to go to this hotel and to check it out, right? Because, like I said, my job is to be a resource. My job is to show hotels, and not every hotel is a popular hotel, meaning everyone knows that hotel. Oh, I know that hotel. Oh, this, oh, that, I use it. Well, no. This one may have been neglected. Just because it's off the freeway doesn't mean people go there. I mean, yeah, people go there, don't get me wrong. But sometimes we don't think about it's a viable option for a meeting because it's right between. Buena Park is like one of the first cities in Orange County if you're going on the 91 freeway. Now it's a good halfway point. Like say people are coming from, like my cousin came from Corona. I came from LA. It's like maybe 25 miles from me, from my house. I don't know what it is for him, but it's ideal for people that some people coming from LA County, maybe some people coming from San Bernardino County or Riverside County, right? And they can meet there. They don't want to, not one person wants to go all the way into another city or another county, but this is a good halfway point for everybody. And that's why I wanted to go there, because I wanted to make sure it was the hotel that I remember. And it is the hotel I remember. And actually it looked better than I remembered. So there you go. So my job is to go out and be a resource, right? And if along the way being a resource means being a content creator for certain hotels, I'll do that too. I'll take that too, right? Because it acts as a calling card. A lot of people don't think about it like this. I get business from hotels by going and check the hotels out, taking photographs of it, taking video, and then posting it. Okay, that's a calling card for me, because now those people will call me and say, "Hey, you took pictures of our hotel. Thank you so much for posting them. Can you do this?" So you never know where things can lead, right? But sometimes we have to put ourselves out there in order to get noticed is one thing, because you always want to get noticed, right? So there you go. I know I was going to say something else, but that's one of the reasons why I do what I do. But some people ask me, well, hey, do you just do that, or do you just go to hotels, whatever? Yeah, that's how it starts. You have to go to hotels, show them what you can do, show them what you're about, and then that's how it goes into something else. But if you don't if you don't ever show what you can do, and a lot of times, yeah, you got to do things for free, okay, you have to do that. You have to put yourself out there in order to be noticed, okay? So there you go. Who's your best advocate? Now, see, I'm just giving examples of being my best advocate, right? So you have to go out and do what you have to do to see what shakes, shake the trees to see what falls out, right? But you have to be your best advocate. No one's going to be out there shaking their booty for you, okay? Did I say that? I don't even know if that came out right. No one's going to be shaking pom-poms. I'm digging myself in a hole here. You have to be your best advocate. So if that's shaking pom-poms or whatever you got to shake, then that's what you need to do for you, right? Because people want to see excitement. People want to see the excitement on you before they get excited about it. So you have to be your best brand advocate. You have to go out there and shake and make all the noise. Like, why are you shaking and making all this noise? Because I want people to know about Russell of Hotels. Oh, what's Russell of Hotels? Well, blah, 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 blah. Content creating, hotel site selection, hotel consulting, making your brand top of mind, creating content for you so people can know who the heck you are. All that kind of stuff. You have to be the one shaking the most before they are going to get on board with you. If you're not excited about it, ain't nobody else going to be excited about it. So that's what I'm trying to say, right? I know people were like, you got me, you had me on that shaking booty and pom-pom thing. I didn't know where you're going with that one and how are you going to get out of that hole. Well, now I got out of it, okay? So you have to be your best brand advocate, okay? That's what it comes down to. So make sure you're doing that, and then, maybe you'll go far. I don't know. What are you doing to keep your brand relevant? So what are the things that you do to keep your brand relevant? Now, I mentioned 3 things right now. Okay, doing content creating for hotels, that's one. Keep my brand relevant. Name is out there. Doing this podcast or this talk show, On Air with Russell of Hotels, is another way to keep your brand relevant, or at least to keep my brand relevant. So, and then this hotel I'm showing in the background is the DoubleTree in Buena Park. So I'm not only just doing this for my brand, but I'm doing it for their brand as well, right? Whether they ask for it or not, they getting it. So that's what you have to do to stay relevant, for people to know what you do. And always remember, tell people who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Okay? So there's several ways that I can help people. I'm Russell. My company's Russell of Hotels. I do content creating. Well, how do you do content creating? Well, I showcase hotels. Well, which hotels? Well, the last hotel I showcased was the DoubleTree in Buena Park. Okay? And what is Buena Park famous for? Knott's Berry Farm. Okay, right down the street, located on Beach Boulevard, right off the 91 freeway. I mean, gosh, I would have a field day with that. If I was the director of sales of this hotel, oh my God, I would have a field day with that. Everybody would know I'm there. But it's kind of hidden. Although you can see the sign off the freeway, but the building itself, because you see the side of the building, you don't see the entrance, right? So you see the side, but But if I was a director of sales there, oh my God, everybody would know the DoubleTree was there. And maybe they do. I don't know. But I'm just saying there's so many possibilities at that hotel. But what are you doing? Just ask yourself, what do you do to keep your brand relevant? Are you doing anything? But regardless what you're doing, in order to increase social media engagement, which means keeping your brand relevant, one thing you got to do is be consistent. So I consistently do this show every single Tuesday. At least I've done it 217 Tuesdays, okay? But that wasn't enough for me. So I started doing this thing called Daily Check-In with Russell of Hotels, which I do Monday through Friday. Okay, so that was kind of it was to support this show that was only once a week. So I said, well, in order for people to know who I am or what I do, not that I'm not reaching everybody, right? But and this is the reason why I do things on social media, why I do this show. This is for the people that don't know what I am or what I do, right? The ones that don't follow me. Okay, so the more I do it, the more people are going to know who I am. The more people may be going to follow me or connect with me, and that's what you want in the long run. But in order to do that, you got to be consistent. Okay, so I consistently post. I consistently do a daily check-in. I consistently do On Air with Russell of Hotels. I consistently go to different hotels so I can be a resource, and I post those things as well. A lot of times I do lives from the hotel, just like this one here, right? So you got to be consistent, right? So you got to keep doing it. You got to keep your brand out there. Be consistent, add value, making sure you're adding value. Maybe, me talking about this hotel is adding value. Like, oh my God, I didn't know about that hotel. Well, I just added value for someone. Maybe someone's watching. I need to be more consistent. I need to do more things on social media. Well, there you go. Hopefully that's adding value. And thank you very much. And you're welcome. I, appreciate you letting me know that. So, and then the last one, be authentic, be you. It always comes back to being you. So if this is how you are, sometimes silly or sometimes you're professional, whatever, be consistent with that because people will pick up on that. Okay. If I came on here and just all of a sudden now I'm just, I was like this and all of a sudden, yeah, well, today's show is, that ain't me. Okay. You'll know something's wrong. Something's wrong with Russell. Someone's taking over his body because that's not him, so so just remember, oh my God, I'm blew something off my screen. But just remember just to be consistent, add value, and be authentic. Okay, because people, if you're fake, people are gonna know it. All right. So, like I said, I'm never going to come on here. All of a sudden, I'm just dead serious. Now, there's serious parts, right? But consistently serious, that ain't going to ever happen, okay? There can be some serious segments, that I, have to talk about certain things, whatever. But after that, I'm going to move on and just be, I'm going to be me. So after you know all that stuff, what tools do you use? Well, I used to specifically say, hey, we'll use this particular social media platform. Nah, I'm not going to do that anymore because social media platforms, so people that post a lot, they're meant to be canceled. Okay. What does that mean? I've been canceled on Instagram twice. I've been canceled on LinkedIn at least once. Canceled meaning, we're in this cancel world, this world of being canceled. People get tired of you, so they cancel you, or they suspend you, or they, take your voice away, if you will. I got suspended a couple of times, right, from different platforms for different reasons. Only one I can say was maybe okay. It wasn't intentional, but I understand why they would say I did what I did, right? But it was not intentional. But no one's going to call you and say, well, why did you do this, or what was your intent behind this? I was playing some background music. I was at an event, just real quick. I was at an event in Canada, and they're playing some background music, and I was videotaping something, the event. Like I was looking at maybe the decor or whatever, people were dancing, whatever. And then I posted it. Well, there was music in the background and I didn't mention the song, or, maybe they thought I owned it and I had no rights to post this video with that song on it. Well, it was background music, first of all. I couldn't even tell you what the song was because it wasn't loud enough. Well, anyway, I guess that didn't matter. Well, that's why I got suspended. No, couldn't collect my $200, couldn't pass go. You just got suspended for like, I think it was like 20 days or something like that. 10 days, 20 days, whatever. That was the first time. And then another time that's just recently I got suspended again. So now I don't, what I'm saying now is that tools to use various platforms because you never know which platform will cancel you, okay, for doing something that maybe you didn't even know you did. So just make sure that you're spreading the love around. So whatever content you're creating, you're spreading it to different platforms. So don't just do everything on IG. Don't just do everything on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or TikTok. Spread it around to all the different platforms. I'm not saying you got to put it on everything that you post on every platform. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you need to be using at least one, or at least two of them. I am saying that because, like I said, you don't want to get canceled, and in this world of canceling out people, you don't want to get canceled, okay? Because a lot of people put all their business, they put, this is marketing someone's business. They can use 100% of this platform for marketing their business or promoting their business. And what happens when that's taken away from you? Because we don't own the platforms. We don't own them. So let's make sure we spread the love. We cross-pollinate on other different platforms. Just in case you get canceled by one, it won't be that big of a deal. There you go. That's why I said what I said. I said what I said. Okay. Hiring and now who's hiring here in LA and some non-meat eats. Let's go with who's hiring. Who's hiring? And these jobs are in LA for the most part, the greater LA area. So Highgate, am I listening? Yeah, okay. I thought I was getting some feedback. I'm like, and then I'm talking to myself, right? And I'm talking to myself as if someone was going to answer. But who's hiring in LA? Highgate Hotels. They're hiring in Los Angeles for a general manager. I'm not sure if the hotel didn't tell you that, but they are. Hilton Garden Inn in Burbank. They're looking for a director of sales. Courtyard LAX. That was my old hotel. I opened that hotel years ago. I rebranded that hotel. It was actually another hotel. It was an independent hotel. It was a boutique hotel at the airport. And the company bought it, and they wanted to reflag it as a Courtyard. And I had Courtyard experience, so I went in as the director of sales and marketing. So I was the first director of sales and marketing at the Courtyard LAX back in the day. But anyway, they're looking for a sales manager. You know how I got stories about everything, right? But people are like, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it has something to do with it because I used to work there, right? So, but anyway, I have certain fondness for certain hotels, and that one is one of the ones I do. And the Langham Hotel in Pasadena, they're looking for a director of conference services. And then get into the non-meat eats. Every week, I'll share, you guys know I don't eat meat, right? I have a vegan diet, vegan diet. So, but I call it non-meat eats. Hashtag non-meat eats. Okay, so I always have a section on this because I want to mention at least the restaurant that I ate or the food that I ate. So, Stuff I Eat, 100% vegan restaurant, 100% plant-based. It's in Inglewood. I had the lava burrito. So everything is there's no meat in it. There's some like grilled tofu in there, but there's tons of vegetables. There's black beans in there. There's like broccoli. There's mushrooms. And there's some spicy salsa. That's all I really care about. I said, give me the hotter the better. They said, do you want mild, medium, or hot? I said, I want extra hot. Kick it up a notch. That's what I wanted. It still wasn't that hot, though. But it was good, though. It's very good. I've been there before. Stuff I Eat. In fact, the lady who's the chef or who owns it, she's one of the owners. I can't think of what her name is. But she's like in her 70s. And I swear she looks like she's in her 50s. She's been a vegan forever. And she's like in shape, she's like cut and all this kind of stuff. But she's like 75, and I swear she probably looks like she's like 50. I've seen it. I'm like, oh my God. I said, okay, all right, Miss Lady. I can't think of what her name is though, but it's called Stuff I Eat. It's on Market. It's in Inglewood. I had the lava burrito. I was just there on Saturday, just FYI, just so you know. And then I was at Earl's Grill on Friday. Now normally I don't do back to back like that, like fast food places, but I did. I happened to be on Friday. I happened to be near Earl's Grill, which is on Crenshaw. Now I don't venture, I don't venture that in that. Well, I'm saying, and I'm not trying to make this like it's a bad thing. Just certain parts of LA, I don't go that often, right? I have to have a reason to be over there. Well, this day I had a reason to be over there, so I'm like, I'm gonna go to Earl's, right? And I got they have vegan options there. Earl's Grill is not 100% vegan, but they have like half their menu is vegan, right? So you get like a vegan chili dog, vegan chili, vegan hot dog, vegan burgers. You can get all kind of vegan stuff. So I got vegan chili cheese fries. OMG, vegan chili cheese fries with real vegan cheese that melts and is melted and gooey, just like regular cheese would be. And their chili is like this tangy. Oh my god, it's so good. As you can tell, I'm salivating right now. I need to eat right now. Okay, I'm going back there. But it was so good. It was scrumptious. Okay, that's what I said. Hashtag scrumptious. Okay. So if you follow me on Instagram, check it out because I did I was eating the food. I was commentating as I was eating. So check it out on Instagram. Russell of Hotel is my Instagram. So I posted the food there. And we're almost done here. So 3 Ps. We always end the show with the 3 Ps. Russell of Hotels, 3 Ps: purpose, passion, and perseverance. Purpose, know why you do what you do. I do this show because, like I said, I want to be a resource to people, not just people within the industry, but people outside the industry that may not understand, the whole ins and outs of hotels, how they operate, how to do a group, a group block and contracts and all that kind of stuff, right? And consulting or what do you call it, content creating. I mean, I'm here to answer all those questions, right? Passion, either you have it or you don't. And if you don't have passion for what you do, you know what you should do if you don't have passion? Do something else. And 3, perseverance. Be consistent, continue to evolve. Don't give up and swerve when you need to. We don't pivot here, okay? We swerve, okay? That's the difference. There's a difference. I ain't going to tell you what the difference is today. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, maybe I can't tell you. So swerving, as if you see something that's not good in the horizon. You see it coming, right? But you have enough wherewithal not to go through it. You see it and you swerve around it. You take another route, another road. You take an alternate route to get to where you're going to go, but you're not going through the crap. Now, pivoting, you're going through the crap. You're in there and you're like, well, now I'm here. Now I got to pivot. Which way am I pivoting? No, we swerve here. So just if you're prepared, you have enough things in your arsenal that if you do see something in the horizon, you can, basically swerve, and then maybe you'll be better for swerving. I don't know. But pivoting means you're in there, and a lot of other things come with pivoting, and I don't really care because I'm not one to pivot. I'm one to swerve. Okay, so that's the difference for me, Russell Hotels, between pivoting and swerving. But once again, it's all about perseverance. Be consistent, continue to evolve, don't give up, and swerve when you need to. So there you go. So that's it. My last slide is, my last 2 slides. Once again, this is, oh no, that was not what you're supposed to see there. One thing that I did not change, but that's okay. Level Hotel, just the last slide for for the sponsor, Level Hotel. Remember, go stayinglevel.com. Always book direct. Regardless of what hotel it is, always make sure you book direct. And then use their promo code ROH23, which stands for Russell Hotels 23. Yeah, hopefully, for next year it'll be ROH 24. So there you go. But anyway, and always remember to promote your business, take advantage of different ways to be creative and to promote your business. Okay. A lot of people may not have a podcast or a live hospitality talk show, but there's other ways to do it. I mean, you have to have a presence on social media. So if you don't have like a LinkedIn corporate page or just a basic page on all different platforms, you don't have to post on all of them, but you want to make sure people are able to find you. Okay. It's not about how I want to be seen. It's about the people that are trying to find you. So remember, you're doing things for your audience or for your potential clients. You're not doing things for you. Marketing is never about you. It's always about the people that you're trying to market. You want people to do business with you. You want people to partake in your restaurant or whatever it is, but it's for them. It's not about you. So get that out of your head that this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to do it. Well, if it's not working, that could be one of the issues. So don't be afraid to promote yourself. Hey, Skip, I see Skip. I'm about to get off here, Skip, but thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. Maybe next time you can be early, right? You can make comments. But anyway, as you can see, follow me on LinkedIn, IG, and YouTube. Or you can go to my website, russellofhotels.com, or DM me. Slide into my DMs. However you want to get a hold of me, I'm here. I'm accessible. I'm here to help. So once again, thank you guys so much. This was show number 217 on air with Russell of Hotels. I'm out. You guys have a great day. Peace.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.